Hello, Internet. This is Chase Redshirt King Wassenaar.
And this is Walter C80's Fedchuck.
And welcome to the Rough Drafts Patreon podcast pitch. We've been hinting at this for a while. It's something that we are excited to talk to you guys about today, and we thank you so much for watching this and listening to what we have to say. Obviously, we have been podcast hosts together for a while. Before this, I was a writer at Paravine. I've done writing for Unicorn and Slingshot as well, and I was a coach over at Imperial Esports.
And I was the semiest of semi-professional players in the ESL Go for LOL scene, and also have worked for the North American Challenger League and Cognitive Gaming.
And with our talents combined, we basically have experience in a lot of the different aspects of the esports realm, especially League of Legends. And that knowledge has allowed us to create the Rough Drafts podcast, one of our proudest accomplishments, I would say, over the last 2.5 years, as we've broken down the North American and European scenes week by week, doing breakdowns of games both by reviewing what had happened the week before, guessing the gambling lines for those of you who like to look at just how favored teams are and how you can kind of find value in upset specials. And of course, all of the extra Q&A fun stuff that we've tried to do for you guys in our free time. It's a podcast that we've poured a lot of love into, and right now it's something that we need a little bit of help with if we're going to continue to produce that the way that we want to for you.
So that's why we're coming to you, our community of listeners, with this Patreon campaign for the podcast, because up until now, we've been hosted on unicorn.com and on slingshotesports.com for the past approximately 1.5 years. And while we're still going to keep Unicorn as a sponsor for the podcast, because Guest Line and Gamblings go with a gambling website, it costs money to actually run a podcast, and we need your help to help run the podcast. There are things like the subscriptions to SoundCloud and to Adobe Creative. We want to upgrade our equipment. Over the past 6 months, Chase and I have upgraded our microphones, upgraded our headsets. I've built a brand new computer to handle all the video editing that we do now. And it also takes time. It takes a lot of time for us to watch every single game, even if it's 2 times speed on YouTube. So we're coming to you guys for help because we want to keep doing this for you, the fans.
Absolutely. And if you guys do decide to contribute to our Patreon, there are a lot of great things that can come of this. I would love to not have to do audio editing on a computer from 2009, for instance, so that's a little bit more clear, and I'll get a good webcam so I don't come off so fuzzy compared to what Walter's doing. Of course, there are also just things like being able to watch film as consistently as we'd like, being able to upgrade any audio tools that we use, and being able to do streams more often by having computers that can handle that kind of processing, which currently I do not have access to. We also, of course, have things that we've wanted to do for a long time. The running joke of our podcast of we'll save it for this tangential podcast that we never actually do. We'd actually like to do those. We'd like to do more Q&As with you guys where we actually get to respond and interact with this community that we've been lucky enough to build over the years. And we'd love to have other events like that, game nights and extra bonus podcasts that we can eventually add in, including hopefully an Overwatch podcast where we can channel our love for that particular game into the same style that we've been so successful with League of Legends. So if you do contribute, you're going to be helping make all of those things a reality, for which we are grateful for all of you who have the ability to do so.
Yeah, and honestly, we wouldn't ask for money unless you guys were going to get something else out of the deal besides just our smiling faces twice a week. So for our rewards, we're just going to start out with 2 for now. The very first one comes in for $1 a month. And if you give us $1 a month, we're going to invite you to our private Rough Drafts Discord channel. Yeah, that's right. If Twitter wasn't enough for you, you now can be with us every second of the day on our private Discord channel. This is going to be the easiest way for us to keep up the conversation outside of podcasts. It's going to be the easiest way for us to do things like those game nights that Chase we're talking about. Set up a couple servers and bam, right there, 5-on-5 League of Legends or Counter-Strike or Smite or whatever else that we might come up with. And then Chase, you constantly say this line from Dan Carlin to me all the time. For $1 an episode, for $8 a month, you'll become one of our VIPs. And what that's going to give you is that's going to give you first priority for everything. Q&As, your questions are going to be the ones that get answered first. Those game nights, if there's only 3 slots available, 3 VIPs get those. You know, anything else, you guys are going to be the very first people to access those things and the very first people to get to take advantage of them. Again, $8 a month. You even have your own private room in the Discord. Like, come on. I don't know how much more VIP you can get.
Absolutely. And all of the podcasts that we do, we're going to try to upload on Patreon a little bit earlier than for the rest of the public crowd because we appreciate everything you guys can do. Of course, I understand that not everyone has the ability to do that. For those of you who can't contribute to the cause, just spread the word. Let people know about the show and why it matters to you guys and why maybe they should contribute if they can. Obviously, you can find our Patreon at patreon.com/roughdraftspod. And for the rest of you, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being fans of the show week in and week out. You guys mean the world to us. It's the reason that we love doing what we do and how we've been able to move forward for all this time. So that's it for us. So until next time, goodbye, Internet.